So what is it? Is it money? This bond notes issue is a bad, ill-thought idea. But I want to tell you something. Money is a relationship of your economy with other economies. I had a meeting with the Reserve Bank governor where I told him that the idea of bond notes was a disaster and that they would actually in fact make things worse for our country. So I've been very clear on that. What we need is a holistic solution to this country. What is the real problem with our economy? The real problem with our economy is that we are not producing. So we are eating that which we are not producing. So the answer is not a monetary solution. The answer is a supply side solution. Our people have to produce. The mines have to start working. The farms have to start working in real terms. The industries that have been shut in Bulawayo, in Harare, in Chegutu, in Kadoma, in Mutarelo, in Masvingo, they have to start working. That's the secret of unlocking the impasse and deadlock in this economy. It lies with supply side solution. We are in a recession right now, and that recession is fast tracking itself towards an economic depression. The last time our economy grew was in 2012. Since then, for every year, this year's growth rate has been less than the previous year's growth rate. In 2015, the growth rate was minus 1.8%. In 2016, minus 3.8%. In 2017, minus 5.2%. So we are back to the old days of 2008, 2007. And remember, this is an economy that loves these elongated downward depressions. The last time around, the crisis was between 1997 and 2011. We lost 60% of the value of our economy over a space of 11 years. We have been on a downward spiral since 2012. We are in 2016. That's 4 years already. So we're in the middle of another cycle. And to stem this cycle, we have to go back to basic Keynesian economics. We have to try and construct our way out of this crisis. We have to try and spend our way out of this crisis. Regrettably, Chinamasa doesn't understand what I'm talking about. Chinamasa has no idea of depression economics. So that's the first thing. So in addressing supply side, it means that we have to attract foreign direct investment in this country. So that means the Indigenization Empowerment Act must go. And it means we also have to build a stock of savings, which are at least 50% of GDP. That means that the entire financial sector, the entire banking sector needs to be overhauled. Where in the world other than in Zimbabwe, have you heard of a situation where you put your money in a bank and then you are phoned 20 days later that, look, you have to add some more because interest has depleted it, charges have depleted it? And where in the world have you had a situation where people put their money in a bank and they can't get the money out? So the policies that this government has been running are discouraging savings because no person can actually put his money in a bank, and without savings, no country can move. The reason why China has been able to sustain real growth rates for 7% over a sustained period of almost 30 years is because of a savings culture. 50% savings of GDP annually. So this bond notes issue is a bad, ill-thought idea. It's trying to move the deck when the Titanic is sinking. So what is it? Is it money? If it's money, And we know it's money because the president in Statute Instrument 133 of 2016 said it's money, it's an exchange rate. But I want to tell you something. Money is a relationship of your economy with other economies. Money is, at the end of the day, an expression of your current account, the relationship between your exports and your imports. Now there is a disaster because we have a current account deficit that is almost 18% of GDP. We are eating that which we are not producing. We are eating that which is being produced by other countries. The ratio of our imports to our exports is 4:1. That means that for every dollar that is coming in as exports, $4 are going out as imports. And when the situation is like that, you cannot have a currency because you don't have reserves. You don't have reserves and you've got this mismatch. So the answer again lies into let's produce, let's build our economy, let's produce, let's build reserves, foreign currency reserves of at least $9 billion before we can start talking about the currency. Now they are doing the opposite. They've got a deficit of almost minus 15 billion percent. That consists of 9 billion sovereign debt, publicly guaranteed sovereign debt, and 6 billion domestic debt. So that means we have to find 15 billion plus $9 billion before we start having a currency. What they are trying to do is going to lead to the following things. Number one, you're going to see the re-emergence of inflation. And every Zimbabwean hates inflation because we lived it. Number two, you're going to see shortages. The thing that is going to be hit hard and fast is fuel. Fuel is going to disappear. Then all the other things that we import, milk, cooking fat right now is now difficult. If you go to Mohamed Musa, they are now rationing cooking fat. So there will be shortages. Number three, there will be a return of the black market. Our compatriots who used to make a living from 4th Street are back now. They're back now, burning, and they're waiting for this bond note. Number four, you're going to see massive externalization. People are going to transact offshore. People are going to transact offshore, as we saw in 2007, 2008, because we know that businesses were put down, businesses were closed, businesses were shut down by the Beirut check. You cannot expect a businessman to accept a bond note when all his raw products and costs are indexed in US dollars. He has to buy fuel from South Africa in US dollars, but you want to give him bond notes. So what will happen is that you will externalize, but eventually he will shut down. So it's bad and terrible economics, and it's double bad because we have had the experience of 2008. They say in English, once bitten, twice shy, but we are not shy at all. We are shameless, and that's the scourge of this generation. That's the scourge of Chinamasa. Shame on Chinamasa.